Hey guys, it's Layla from Ignite, and in today's video I'm taking you through some exemplar analysis from an extract in Bram Stoker's Dracula. But before I get into that, if you guys do like our content, please do like and subscribe to our channel and click the bell for notifications. And if you're looking for some resources to help you navigate your way through your English studies, check out our website at Ignite HSC. But for now, let's get into today's video. So in today's video, I'm taking an extract from Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I'm going to walk you through some analysis of that to illustrate how we practice what's called active reading of a text. How you look at an extract and you're actively searching for those elements of forms and feature that have been used by the composer in order to convey effect. And I'm using that really as an illustration for you guys, particularly if you're in the younger years, of what we're actually doing in the study of English, right? In English, we're really thinking about how a composer has used those elements of forms and feature in order to impact the responder in some way. So that's what we're doing here. We're taking an extract, we're analysing it, and we're bringing it back to those fundamentals of English, which is looking at an extract from a text, unpacking its construction, and then considering how meaning has been conveyed. And I've really just reiterated that on this next slide here, right? Your studies in English, if you are kind of struggling with English as a subject because it is, quite subjective and you don't really know what the main idea or the point of the subject is, it's this. It's all about textual representation. Before asserting any sort of meaning in a text, before claiming that a composer, has explored a certain theme or has conveyed an idea or has effectively done some characterization, whatever it is that you're asserting in a text, you must bring it back to form and feature. How's the text been constructed at a macro level? What are the distinctive qualities of that type of text? And that's referring to form. And then how have language techniques and stylistic devices been used to enhance the meaning in that text? So that's our kind of fundamental rationale behind what you're doing in English studies. Let's have a look at our extract. I'll read through it in full and then I'll stop and I'll go through on my second reading on what techniques, what forms and features have been used, and start to discuss how we can unpack the effect of that meaning. All right. So here's our extract. I was afraid to raise my eyelids, but looked out and saw perfectly under the lashes. The girl went on her knees and bent over me, simply gloating. There was a deliberate voluptuousness which was both thrilling and repulsive. And as she arched her neck, she actually licked her lips like an animal, till I could see in the moonlight the moisture shining on the scarlet lips and on the red tongue as it lapped the white, sharp teeth. Then she paused, and I could hear the churning sound of her tongue as it licked her teeth and lips, and I could feel the hot breath on my neck. I've chosen Dracula for a few reasons. It's quite a popular text from years 9 to 11. So years 9, 10, 11. In year 11, if you are doing Extension 1 English, it actually comes up as a study for the study of Gothic literature. But I have also had students in younger years exploring the Gothic genre read Dracula as well. So it does pop up in the syllabus in different year groups, and it's useful to you in that regard. But also, it's such a rich text to analyse. It's a nice illustration of how multiple techniques have really been used to convey an effect. To orientate you, this moment in the text is where our protagonist, Jonathan Harker, a solicitor, has gone to the Count's estate to settle some legal affairs. And these two women, who are vampires, actually approach Jonathan Harker with the intent of sucking his blood. So it's a bit of a gruesome moment in the text, but nevertheless, let's go through, and now what I'm going to do is actively read sentence by sentence and start to pick apart some techniques that have been used by Stoker to, impact us as readers and engage us really closely with the text. So we have here, I was afraid to raise my eyelids. First thing to note, as soon as you see an I in a text, that's first person narration. It's biased towards one character's perspective, but also invites us to intimately engage with that character on a personal level because we're speaking to them through the I. It's a very personal vehicle. But looked out and saw perfectly under the lashes. The girl went on her knees and bent over me, simply gloating. See how we've got three clauses in that sentence, right? We've got one clause here, one clause there, and another one here. Clause, by the way, is a group of words separated by punctuation. It has the effect of kind of slowing down the pace of the sentence. And that's what we would call elongated syntax. Syntax, S-Y-N-T-A-X, is the sentence structure and word order. And because we have multiple pauses, it slows it down and it kind of dramatizes the languid, the sleepy kind of confusion that Harker is experiencing at this moment in the text. There was a deliberate voluptuousness which was both thrilling and repulsive. So we have some emotive language that's being used there to describe this presence of the women that Harker is trying to unpack. Thrilling and repulsive. We've got two somewhat opposing ideas here placed in direct proximity. I would call that an antithesis, not a paradox, because thrill and repulse are not direct opposites, but an antithesis are two ideas of opposing qualities that are placed together. So that could be used to describe that. And as she arched her neck, she actually licked her lips like an animal. The repetition of the L sound, we can call that alliteration. And you also, of course, have the simile here of like an animal, which has the impact of kind of addressing a zoomorphic quality in the women in Jonathan's presence. There is also a kind of sensuality in the description here. And when we think about text, particularly of the Gothic genre, there is often an intersection between both, I guess, sexual undertones, but also very violent undertones. And when we look at, I guess, what Gothic literature is drawing on, and it often draws on ancient tales of sexuality and violence, we call those references, they're actually derived from ancient Greek names of Eros and Thanatos, or the intersection of both the libido and mortitudinal drives. So there's kind of this typical intersection of what we have in text, such as kind of the sex references and also the violent references, and we'll see how they manifest in later parts of the analysis as well. Okay, so we've got the zoomorphic reference. Till I could see in the moonlight the moisture, again, the repetition of sounds, alliteration, shining on the scarlet lips and on the red tongue. The references to red, the visual imagery is also quite sexual. And on the red tongue as it lapped the sharp white teeth. White, sharp teeth, that's quite a phallic, P-H-A-L-L-I-C image. It's got a penetrative quality to it, again reinforcing the sexual nature of the extract. Then she paused and I could hear the churning sound of her tongue as it licked her teeth and lips, and I could feel the hot breath on my neck. So again, the sensuality in the imagery there, and it is here quite tactile imagery, especially when we can have, I could feel the hot breath. Tactile imagery is any imagery that appeals to touch, right? It's very sensitive in the way it's being described. And I think through all of that, you really get this kind of hotness, the heat, the sensuality of the women, but also their violent nature as well, the sharpness of their presence, and how they really threaten Harker at this moment in the text. Okay, so if I just pause there, there's a plethora of techniques that you can draw on. I would encourage you to pause as I was reading through the analysis there and note down any techniques that were new to you. If you are an English student, it's really valuable for you, maybe at the back of your English exercise book, to have a glossary of lots of different techniques and call upon them whenever you're analysing text. Because remember, the building block here of all your English studies is looking at an extract, identifying the techniques and explaining the effect. You'll notice as I was going through analysis, I was explaining what kinds of meanings we can draw upon here, the threatening presence of the women, the intersection of references to both the sexual and the violent nature. if the extension theory I offered you there in terms of the references to the eros and the thanatos, or the libidinal or mortidinal aspects of the text were a little bit foreign and too advanced for you, that's okay. I mentioned those for those students doing extension English who may be doing the text, but either way, the breadth of the analysis there was heaps to take away from whether you're a younger student or a more senior student looking at Stoker's Dracula. But that kind of concludes my analysis for the clip, guys. I hope you found that useful. I hope you're understanding the process of textual analysis and what we're doing with extracts from text, and that you learned perhaps a few new techniques to add to your repertoire of skills. If you have any questions, please do comment and I'll do my best to get back to you. Otherwise, guys, please do like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy our content and are finding it useful, and of course, click the bell for notifications. If you're wanting some resources to help you navigate your way through your studies, if you're wanting exemplar responses, context on text, elements of form, please check out our website at Ignite HSC. We have so much on there that you will undoubtedly find useful. But for now, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you do like the content, subscribe to our channel and we'll have more videos coming your way.
That's right, guys. Thanks for watching. And please make sure you check out our online resource database. We've had a team of state rank achievers and heads of English put these together for you, covering everything from essay structures and examples all the way through to craft of writing and comprehension skills. So check them out at ignitehsc.com.au, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.